Hello, and thanks for tuning in. In this review, I'm going to be taking a look at a really fun horror comedy released by the Troma Team. And now, the Slashening. The film is a parody of the slumber party slasher genre from the mid to late 80s, and as such, you can pretty much guess the plot. A group of girls has a party, their boyfriends show up, and eventually a masked killer taking them out one by one. While the overall plot is not incredibly original, the jokes and the characters work remarkably well. Alright, look, I'm just gonna say it. There's no getting around it. The title is horrible. There's absolutely no defending it. But do not let that sway you, as the movie's pretty fun. The film is pretty tightly paced, and it moves along incredibly briskly. Clocking in at 82 minutes, it honestly only feels about half of that. The movie's really well shot, with some vibrant colors on display and some excellent split-focus shots. It was obviously shot on digital, but they did the best with what they could, and it looks pretty nice. The acting is all surprisingly strong. I can't think of any weak links. Being relatively unknown actors in a super low-budget film, I was really blown away by what I saw. As the film is a comedy first and foremost, it's only as good as its jokes, and I'm happy to report that they are quite good. There are a handful of misfires, but overall the movie is last from start to finish. The film does a pretty good job of balancing an overall kinda sleazy and kinda lighthearted tone, and it works pretty well. There is surprisingly very little gore in the film. What is there is hyper-stylized and looks pretty decent overall though. There's some pretty adequate music throughout the film, but that said, there are a handful of song parodies that are really great. One of them, I guess, is supposed to be a Taylor Swift parody. It's repeated twice throughout the film, and it gets on my nerves every single time I hear it. I'm taking points off for that. There's also a few weird audio glitches. I'm not sure if this was intentional or a mistake, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess the latter. The killer's look is also really unsatisfactory. He's basically Baghead Jason from Friday the 13th Part 2. In closing, I have to admit, I was really surprised by how much I enjoyed this movie. I did have to quickly get over the title, but once I did, I was in for quite a fun time. Writer-director Brandon Bassam, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is certainly a filmmaker to keep an eye on, and it should come as no surprise that he's been enveloped into the Troma Team and is currently writing the newest Lloyd Kaufman production. Also, there's a sequel to The Slashening reportedly coming out this year, and I will certainly be keeping an eye out for it. In the meantime, you should totally give this a watch.